Tonight at 6, much of Colorado goes red.
You know what you need to do. We simply need to do it better.
Restaurants buckle down for a long, harsh winter.
I got through it once, and I will definitely get through it again.
While others refuse to get with the program.
Plus the dangers of traveling for Thanksgiving.
Getting together is great for our psyches and bad for infection.
A sheriff's deputy resigns in a use of force case in which no force was used.
If I'd assaulted him, I deserved it. But I didn't assault him.
Oh, it's pants! It's pants! Aurora loses its collective mind over In-N-Out Burger.
A robot serves us coffee.
If a robot can make a car, it can make a latte.
And at 6:15, we light up Union Station for the holidays. The office is quiet, the dining room is vacant, and in a couple of hours, anyone who wants a margarita or martini will have to make it themselves. Good evening. Thanks for choosing Denver7. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. More than a dozen counties, that includes all the Denver metro, are currently in level red. And that means gatherings are severely limited. Indoor events are not allowed and gyms are capped at 10 people.
Restaurants can only serve customers on the patio or through takeout. Last call is at 8 o'clock.
Now is the time when what was always reasonably safe is no longer reasonably safe. And we are losing Coloradans every day to this horrible virus. And it is in our power. It is in our power to stop that.
And restaurants will do what they've always done when the going gets tough. They'll buckle down and they'll get creative to stay in business.
But that's the thing about rolling with the punches. You take a lot of hits along the way. Denver7's Lance Hernandez tonight from Parker.
You know, I can't even describe it, the emotions. There's a lot of anger and sadness.
Pam Breer can't believe it's happening again. She just opened West Main Street Tap Room in February, a tap room that features local food, local craft beer, and local wine. She had to close it during the March shutdown.
I make sure that food goes to the correct tables.
Lauren Mengert was one of the first people hired and one of those let go. She's sensing the same feeling again.
It's a hard time for everyone, so it's that nerve-wracking experience. However, you know, I got through it once, and I will definitely get through it again.
Breer, so concerned about another ban on indoor dining, she wrote to Tri-County Health and the governor.
It's the holidays. I employ people who have families that, you know, they need to support themselves.
Now she's scrambling to save her business. At a customer's suggestion, she purchased 29 ice fishing tents and portable heaters for individual family dining experiences. Her hope? That families with kids learning remotely again will be itching to get out of the house for a meal.
It'll be interesting to see if, you know, the tents during the day when it's cold, if, you know, families will come out, because what kid doesn't want to go eat in a tent?
And we think outside the box.
Operations Director Jen Wired says each tent will be sanitized between uses, just like tables and chairs inside the restaurant.
We're going to need about 20 minutes in between each reservation just to clean the tent and the table itself.
Breer says when she asked customers if they'd consider a tent dining experience, they said yes. She sees light at the end of the tunnel and says it's not a train.
I won't allow a train to run me over. We'll make it. We'll make it.
I like that optimism there. Well, Weld County commissioners want you to know that they didn't move their county into the red, and they're not planning on enforcing the new rules when they take effect on Sunday either.
We can only hope that does not deter locals from taking this seriously, because right now Weld County is in a bad way. According to the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, the county's positivity rate is 16%, and 45 out of 48 ICU beds are currently in use. Now, weeks ago, Weld County was told to submit a plan on how it intended to turn things around, and it did not do so. The governor was diplomatic and discussed Weld County in only broad strokes this afternoon. His office released a more forceful statement, though, this evening, and it reads in part, quote, "Deadly COVID cases are spiraling out of control statewide, and for a county with only 3 hospital beds left open, to undermine efforts to save lives is essentially passing the proverbial buck onto the rest of the state."
And the numbers are just bad across the board tonight. 5 additional deaths in Colorado attributed directly to the virus. 5,700 more tests came back positive. Governor Polis said today that 1 out of every 49 Coloradans right now is infected. More than 1,700 hospital beds are occupied. 34% of Colorado facilities expect to be shorthanded next week. 14% are running out of space in the ICU.
And whether it be by plane, train, or automobile, doctors say there is no safe path to Grandma's house this Thanksgiving. The virus is so widespread that even the most careful travelers have a high chance of getting sick.
The more contacts, the more risk. I mean, I think that's the simple way to talk about this. And right now, the risk is just particularly high because we are on this surge.
AAA expects travel to drop by at least 10%, the most since the Great Recession. If you do choose to celebrate with people outside your own household, the CDC recommends bringing your own food, drinks, plates, cups, and cutlery.
Well, when it is time to fly again, we are very happy to report that DIA will be much improved. Today, the airport unveiled 4 new gates on Concourse B. There's also new outdoor deck and charging stations, actually lots of charging stations. The first step in a project that will ultimately lead to 39 new gates at DIA.
And Vail is officially open to skiers and snowboarders. Bringing your own snacks and water is recommended. Although since Eagle County is at level orange right now, indoor dining is still allowed and reservations are required. Larimer County's approach to rebounding from the pandemic is almost textbook.
Probably because it was constructed on a college campus. Here's Denver7's Liz Gilardi.
We're the perfect example of a small business. I mean, I think we have 1,000 square feet here, and we're in Fort Collins, Colorado.
For 12 years, Soulmates has been a place to find unique accessories and clothing.
People are just not shopping the same. Everything's different for everybody. And so we're trying to find more creative ways to reach out to our customers.
When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the business improved its website, doubled down on social media, and started offering new services like private shopping appointments.
You know, the longer this goes on, definitely the more challenges there are for businesses, and that's why I wanted to sign up for the class at CSU.
Owner Jillian Lebeco is just one of the entrepreneurs taking part in the Pivot Larimer County program.
Right, when we start talking about change, it's not easy to deal with change. But change also means that we get to try new things.
It's a virtual workshop hosted by CSU professors and made possible by a $200,000 grant from the county.
Kind of the long-term vision is really enabling these small businesses, one, to make it through COVID, but two, to set the foundation for long-term success.
A series of sessions will focus on helping businesses navigate the current climate and plan for the future. Throughout the discussion on Zoom, the word uncertainty came up a lot.
Because we can plan in advance and make some strategic decisions to make sure that if these situations do come up, we can take advantage of them.
The program is also an opportunity for business owners to share their experience and ideas. This is just the beginning. Additional programs are being offered in January, February, and March. Registration is open and free for all Larimer County businesses as they navigate this challenging time.
Before I saw this class, that's what we were racking our brains with. What are we going to do? How are we going to evolve?
Coming together as a community, helping small businesses set the foundation for a rebound. Liz Gilardi, Denver7.
A high-ranking El Paso County Sheriff's deputy has resigned after appearing to abuse his power to make an arrest. It started way back in August when Tony Twist noticed a blacked-out SUV parked near his house. He knocked on the window and found Lieutenant Bill Huffer inside doing some paperwork. Huffer apparently didn't appreciate the interruption. There was some back and forth between the two, and eventually Huffer decided to arrest Twist for the crime of shining a flashlight in his face. Twist was taken to jail and charged with felony assault. The DA later dropped those and opened an investigation into Deputy Huffer.
I said, how long you been on the force? 17 years? I says, I think it's 17 years too long. They just don't treat people right. It ain't all of them, but 1, 3, or 4 of them make the whole team look bad, you know.
Huffer's last paycheck included his unused vacation time and came out to nearly $22,000. He has since resigned voluntarily. He will be eligible for rehire at a later date.
A takeover-style robbery at an Inglewood bank has drawn the attention of the FBI. The 4 suspects stormed the Compass Bank on South Broadway Thursday afternoon. Investigators were unable to give detailed descriptions of the men. They will face up to 20 years in prison once captured.
Coming up, the Broncos send fans packing.
Plus, we say domo arigato to the new barista in Golden.
This is definitely my first robo-coffee.
Give out dinner recommendations.
And put Union Station in the holiday spirit.
Just a bit of rain and snow across the state now. We could see more before Thanksgiving.